Welcome into a perfect summer evening. I couldn't feel more spirited by the season here as I sit at Goodheart's rooftop deck.
Deck and bar.
Deck and bar
and grill.
A new wonderful establishment here on Ocean City, which ironically is a dry island, Meech, but you know, this is kind of like a, you know, under the scene situation we got going here in terms of this being an off the radar
undisclosed location at Goodheart's
I think we did
rooftop.
the same thing last year, so
Oh,
I
we
think
did.
we're good. Yeah,
Yeah, but
At the Bronco Bar.
Yeah, last
right?
year-
Bronco Bar last year, and nobody
No one
crashed the
cared.
Bronco
No,
Bar
no.
and blew it up. So
Bronco
Right.
Bar's
we're
about
good.
50 yards away.
The Bronco
actually.
Bar is down
And
there.
This is much higher up, so nobody's going to come up all these steps and bust us.
That's true. We are doing this.
Especially Ocean City cops. I know. I've been arrested by them before. They're not walking up all these steps to bust us.
No comment. Well, today was an amazing day. We celebrated the summer in epic fashion by heading over to Sea Isle and going to Jason Kelsey's amazing event for Eagles Autism. I got to check out the new...
One fourth of us went to Jason
Well, you
Kelsey's
guys were in the
event.
area.
We
We
saw
were
the
there,
outside,
and then
yeah.
we seen the line, and we're like, "Yo, we're going to Macamangos. We'll be at fucking back at the house."
Yeah, but it was beautiful because you did go check out the sauce hose.
Yeah.
Which was,
The OG.
you know,
Yeah,
I think
we'll
as
edit,
important.
edit that
Rock
in.
never
We'll edit
saw
that
the sauce
footage
hose
in. Yeah,
before,
I
yeah.
was
He was a
shocked by the sauce. I thought it was like an actual like garden hose.
Right. And anybody who...
Did you say sauce hose or sauce hose?
Sauce hose.
Okay. Who's that talking over
For
there?
anybody, and by the way, this is the Goodheart Bar that we're looking at live over here.
DJ Mark Goodheart.
Mark, you know, thank you for taking us on this adventure.
He's like Tom Cruise and Cocktail over there.
How are you feeling about your setup over there? Uh-oh. Do you feel like you're going to displace one Eric Fink who's not with us in the Fink Tank? Do you think it's possible?
Fink who?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Talking.
Shots
Fink
fired.
Tank is replaced by the
Talking
Goodheart Bar in one episode. This is unreal.
Is this live?
Yeah, no, this is not live.
It's like Willie Pitt. Remember when Willie Pitt missed the game and Lou Gehrig took over?
Yeah.
And next
Yeah.
thing you know, Lou Gehrig
it's a
never
rip.
missed a
But hey,
game in like 600.
Listen, if we're keeping it real, Meech didn't show up one day because, you know, he went to the Phillies game and then somehow disappeared. Fink's not here. I think you
please
get called
replace
out.
me. Please
But you do
find
get
a
called
replacement
out.
for me.
And then you easily retake your spot.
Yeah.
You get called out, dude. That's the bottom line. So let me just say this. My number one, it was really cool going over and getting to see the event today and watch them do the podcast. The first annual beer bowl went down, and let me just say this: we should have entered a Pigeons team. That's
Yeah,
my
definitely.
mistake. I thought maybe that we were, you know,
So
I don't
you
wanna,
know what the characters that won, like I would have never dressed up in a Blades of Glory Will Ferrell.
Well, that's probably why you
cut.
wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, they deserve to win. All right,
Yeah.
so even if we entered
How
the
much
team,
did they
I
win?
wouldn't have gotten that deep into it.
How
So
much was it?
$50K.
$50,000.
Those guys won 50.
Yes.
$50,000.
$50K.
Not like $150.
No.
$50,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah, hey, 50K.
So wait. What was
Look,
this
all
beer
these
bag?
kids they're going to train to drink. These kids are 7 years old. They're like, oh shit, really?
Hold
I'm
on.
going to drink.
Let me just I have to stop everything and say we do have a very familial atmosphere down here on our block, and we got a lot of the nice people from the neighborhood here, including some youngsters. We're going to try to, you know, keep it as appropriate as we can, but we thank everybody for coming and hanging out. It's one of the best parts. Meech and I, we met each other back in 92, 93 down here. And
Shooting dice, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, dice at the
Well,
playground.
before we
Skating.
played basketball
Skating.
before we
Oh,
shot
Okay.
dice.
I thought you guys met on like some dark alley shooting dice somewhere.
Nah, it was
Okay.
basketball.
You see any
Much-
dark
much
alleys
more
around
humble
here?
than
Yeah,
that,
I
man.
got you.
basketball.
I'm a very humble
Aquaport.
kid.
Yeah, you're very humble.
But you guys did shoot dice, for the record.
Yeah,
we did.
like
we did shoot
On the
dice.
way to the Kelsey 62 event, I did get a personal tour of the Meech family home
Did you?
on 52nd Street and Haven.
Beautiful.
We reminisced a little.
Nice.
I had a tear in my eye because, like, how perfect
Listen,
would
no,
it be to have him
I
here
had
right
the
now?
tear in my eye. I missed this goddamn place. We had a spot on 52nd Street, well 51st and Haven. We had two spots. One across the street before the houses on the other side were built, and then when the other side was, my cousin Evio Panici, God rest his soul, he built the houses on the
doesn't sound
both-
real.
Yeah.
It
real
doesn't sound
name.
real. But your name is Mike Malici, so oh shoot, did I put? I mean,
is
Meech.
it
I
government-
put your name
whoa,
out
thanks a
there.
lot, man.
Government, get the government name
my
out of here.
bad,
My
to
bad.
these people.
Okay.
But my cousin Evio
Edit that out,
built
PJ.
all the houses on both sides of the block, and we ended up moving across the street. And about 2019. My parents had to sell it. It was the worst, most depressing moment of my life.
But you're back.
I'm over it.
You're back, and you're seeing some friends that we used to hang out with many years ago. And let me just say this. I think one thing that's clear about the competition today, they chose people based on the videos and the characters, right? And then once they got in there and were performing, and a lot of you guys will see this when they put the episode out, you know, there was a clear difference between the capabilities. And we spent many years, Meech, I think you were there, we were training for that, but we didn't even know it, you know? And I think we had the skill
unknowingly
set.
training for the beer Olympics.
So wait, were they like contests, or were they just like who can drink the most?
No, it was
different
contest. So it was
contests.
like there was a quarters element to it. There was what did it start off with? Flip cup, you know, all the standard stuff.
The standard beer game.
And we were training for that, and I just I feel bad in retrospect because I thought maybe, you know, like this is maybe we're I don't want to say like we're above this, we're not going to dress up, but I think we had the skills to win. And imagine what we could do with $50K for the podcast, guys. I mean, we could build an entire studio, and we could.
I'm disappointed you didn't get us in there,
Here's
bro,
what we do with
to be
50K
honest.
for the podcast. 48K we would bet on a FanDuel single game parlay, and the other 2K we would get a couple
Right.
like a speaker or something.
48K on the parlay, Meech? Damn, that's aggressive.
Well,
Right?
scared money don't make none. Q-Tip said that shit.
So I got to say this, though. Being there today, a couple observations. The first thing I want to observe is that Landon Dickerson's arm is larger than the average small child. I mean, I've never seen anything as big as this guy. And, like, Kelsey's a big enough guy, but Landon Dickerson is, like, scary big. He had on these overalls and was, like, it was almost like a scary version of the guy in Waterboy.
Wait,
you know
overalls
what I mean?
with no shirt, chest
No,
naked?
he had like
overalls?
a tank top
I
on.
think there's a difference between
And he had an
being
orange
like,
flower bathing suit under the overalls. It was amazing.
There's a difference between being big, like you eat a lot big, and being farmer.
Yeah, that country,
Midwestern,
that's a
hick
different
big.
breed.
Right.
It's like a whole different level.
They don't make those dudes around
No,
here.
it was
No.
crazy.
They get those like thick necks.
Yeah.
Just the whole everything about them is just solid.
Right. Whipping bales of hay since they were 6 years old.
Yeah.
Those guys are different, man.
Yeah, I don't even know actually where. I know Landon Dickerson played for
I
Alabama.
guarantee you, he's.
I don't know
he's
where he's
from
Landon
the Midwest.
Dickerson, that's a name that sounds like it came
Right.
out of like Kentucky or Arkansas.
Nobody
or
named
somewhere like
Landon
that.
Dickerson is from a
Connor, where Landon
suburban
Dickerson
city.
come from?
Yeah,
Alabama.
but is he from Alabama or he played Alabama? South Florida, Alabama. Got it. It's kind of
Same
it's kind of
thing,
the
yeah.
same
Up
thing,
there,
yeah.
right.
Unbelievable. No, so many great moments being out there today. Great to see the fans out there. And honestly, like I was thinking about this, I feel like we're living in the golden era of Eagles football. You know, we've had a couple good runs for most of us. You know, the McNabb kind of era was the first experience we had with being a good team for a long time and feeling like we had a great organization. Winning the Super Bowl. Now it's like we got Kelsey and all this stuff going on. I mean, does it get any better than what we have going on right now? Is there any reason for us to feel like, we're not about to go on an even better ride than we've been on?
I've never felt as good about an Eagles team as I do about this team.
No.
I don't know why. Like, there was that one dream team year that they jinxed themselves. I don't know if
The Nanda year.
yeah.
Was that
Vince
was that
Young.
Vince Young?
Yeah. But this year, I don't know. They just feel like the favorite. They feel like juggernauts this year, right? Like they got every like position covered pretty much except like
You look
what,
at the schedule,
linebacker?
and it's like they're
Safety?
going 9-0,
Yeah.
guaranteed, pretty much.
they got the toughest schedule in the league, and you look at the schedule and you're like, win.
Okay, but hold on.
You know what I mean?
We got to stop right there because if you're saying that, you actually haven't looked at the schedule because the Eagles' schedule this year is, I'm going to go on record and say, the hardest schedule that I've ever seen them play, dude.
Yeah, but you look at those teams that they're playing, you feel like the Eagles are better than all those teams.
How do you
know what I mean?
guarantee a win on the road in Week 1 in New England against Belichick on
Win.
Tom Brady night?
Are you
I'm just
guaranteeing
saying.
one?
No, I'm saying, how do you?
don't know. Who is?
That's like
That
betting
team's-
against Tom Brady. He
That
is.
team is
bro.
trash.
Oh, hell yeah. Mac Jones?
Patriots?
That's the easiest
Talking about Whack
win.
Jones? Come on, man. Whack Jones is going to
Come
be
on, man.
living in the
you
dirt.
call him
that
Whack
day.
Jones?
Come on now.
Whack.
You scared
Whack
of you scared
Jones
of
is whack,
you scared of
baby.
Whack Jones week 1?
I'm just scared of Tom Brady night. Anything Tom
That-
Brady, I'm
that
scared
shit
of.
doesn't matter. past the
Brady's
first
gonna
2
be
minutes
in the
of
he's gonna
game,
be
you
in the
know what I mean?
huddle for the Raiders week
Yeah,
1.
is Tom Brady coming back and playing?
You never know.
That'd be great.
He's gonna be in the huddle week
Tom
1 for the
Brady.
Raiders.
He's like, actually, I'm going to play. I'm going to play. Forget Mac. I'm coming in. No, but seriously, that's the only thing when I look at the season where I'm like, man, if you actually look at the schedule, there's a period of time there. I think it's in the December area where we just play, what is it, like Bills and Niners and just, it's crazy. And so that's the only thing that I look at is like, injuries and back-to-back tough opponents. You never know what's going to happen. But either way, my point is just today we're there and all the players are there and the fans, and it just felt like this is just as good as it gets, man. I don't know. I'm trying to find a reason to. Remember when I said back in the playoffs, I'm worried because I'm not worried. You know what I mean? I'm starting to feel that way. Like, what should I be worried about here? Did you think that the McNabb era was better in any respect?
Well, listen, I was younger in the McNabb era, so it didn't really. I didn't really think of it like that. Now, when I'm older, it's more of a what's going to happen here. That's why I was so mad when they had the lead at the halftime of the Super Bowl, and then didn't win. I mean, it's like I'm getting a little older now. When you're younger, it doesn't mean a loss doesn't mean as much, right? So the McNabb era was cool, and I liked it. Even before that, the Buddy Ryan era, all that shit. Like, I enjoyed it, and I had some really cool moments and saw some really cool games, but. Nothing really culminated in a Super Bowl, but I had that, so
okay.
Thank you, Mark.
Mark, hey, the Goodheart Bar delivers.
Did you dig through that ice for 40 minutes to get me that?
Yeah, what the heck were you looking for?
Mark and I had a discussion over there.
Clearly.
This might be a good time to talk about.
Hold on, before you do that, I wanted to announce one thing, because while it is a golden era, or maybe we're entering into a golden era.
Is this the golden hour, PJ?
Yeah, what's going on here?
Yeah, look at that. Look at me with my.
Can you get that sun? Do you get that red sun? It's beautiful. This is what I envisioned.
Golden era, golden hour.
This is the Shore vibe that you were looking for, people. Okay, so even though I did say that we're entering into this golden era and everything's great, we did lose, Tom, how many championships did we lose in the last, 200 days or something? Three. We lost 3 championships. And
2 in one weekend.
We seem to have a bit of a drought going on, but I wanted you guys to know the drought is over. Okay? And I just wanted you to know that
what is this? What is this?
A certain somebody here may have won the championship with his
what is this?
His team, coached them to victory. The Mount Airy Baseball 2023
Did you play on the team?
Majors champions, Rockies.
Hell yeah.
Coached by one Jesse Rendell, baby.
Is that,
Let's go.
You said Mount Airy Rockies?
Yeah,
Is that
Mount
team
Airy
named
Rockies.
after me?
Yeah. No.
Are you sure,
I
dude?
wish.
I'm from Mount Airy. My name's
wish.
Rocky. He played up the street from my folks' crib
yes,
too, right?
We do. And I just wanted you guys to know the
shout out to the Mount
championship
Airy
drought
Rockies,
is over.
man.
And
shout out to you.
not a
Thank
big
you
deal.
for the trophy.
Was this made by Spike's Trophies?
Yeah, I don't
At any-
doubt that at all.
absolutely.
Look,
No, this is
Gold
Crown
medal.
Trophy
Gold
and
medal
Concha
sports.
hockey.
listen. Meech, could you not? I just don't want you to, I don't want you to break it or anything. Let's just leave it right here.
This is real marble.
They
At the
stole
bottom,
my name. I need to go talk
and the
to somebody
top.
at
This
the
is
Mount Airy
real
Rockies
marble.
organization.
Some people are gonna, act like it's no big deal, but look, there's however
You
many
think
teams.
this is plastic? Nope.
No,
Pure
that's
gold.
24
karat gold.
Yeah, so I would just want to say thank you to my players, to the parents that supported me all year, and it just feels good to break the championship
You
drought.
were the coach, like the head coach?
I was the head coach,
Charlie
buddy.
Manuel?
Yes, Iron Fist.
Man.
And they were behind me.
Listen, I saw you out there. We might be able to
Yeah.
get some footage to PJ to edit
Yeah,
into
we
this.
put in work.
This kid's out there yelling at little kids, like
Ooh,
throwing the ball. You
easy.
got to run, James. You got to run.
Yeah,
but look at
well,
that. All that
look
hard
at
work,
it.
all that coaching,
Yeah, that's right.
got him this.
Yeah, and today I was watching on the podcast, Jeff Stoutland's in there. You think he's not yelling at Kelsey
You
and
know what?
Dickerson?
You know what piece of information I've
he is.
retained from my head baseball coach when I was a kid, who we, by the way, won the state Devlin League championship. Summerton Spartans were the goddamn shit.
This just
back in the
feels
day.
more recent, but yeah.
But my coach, his main thing was, don't compound your mistakes, and I thought it was
Okay.
a brilliant piece of advice. Like,
Right.
you make a mistake, don't panic and make another mistake.
Right.
Just end it right there.
Was that
one mistake?
Were you coming through with those kind of golden
Yes,
nuggets?
you know what? Actually,
Don't compound your mistakes.
my theme for my team was resilience. Okay, and it was, look, no matter what happens, you mess up a play, you come back, you get the next one. Don't worry about it. Nothing matters. Keep fighting to the end. And I gave them the Rocky line. It's not how hard you hit; it's how hard you can get hit and keep coming back. And they really seem to embrace that.
Did you
And by
punch
the way,
them?
there was a double elimination
punch them?
tournament. A double elimination tournament. We never ever. We didn't lose. We went straight through. We never lost, and
Look at you.
it just feels good. So I just
Yeah,
wanted to make sure.
congratulations,
That means
man.
you got finished early,
Congratulations to
too.
you and the Mount Airy Rockies.
Thank
Congratulations
you.
to Mount
Well,
Airy. in
Shout out
general.
Rock for your rock
to
Good
keep
job,
the,
man.
the theme going with the gold and the new championship being
Yeah.
It's gold. It's
I heard,
all
I heard
gold.
Kenwood is introducing a brand new can.
I
And they have
couldn't
a-
Wait,
Stop
you got
the
some
train
Kenwoods
over
right
here.
there, though. You got some Kenwoods right there, though.
look
Meech.
who's gonna.
Who's gonna debut this?
Look, this
Debut
looks
the-
different.
Connor, look.
This
Show
looks
the
different.
That's a gold top.
Oh,
This is a beautiful can
Yeah.
right here. Look, compared to the old one. Look, Connor
Listen,
has
I'm not
the.
here for the marketing, but I,
It's a beautiful can, right?
Gave me a cooler of sort of dealer's choice, and this one.
There you go.
Gravitated
So,
to this.
It's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Cheers.
So what we're
Cheers,
alluding
bro.
to here, folks, is we actually, thanks to the good people at Kenwood Beer, got our hands on what is the first 15-pack that has ever been given to anybody besides the Kenwood employees that has the new branding. Kenwood did a complete
I was
overhaul.
hoping to drink the first one, but Connor.
Yeah,
beat me
well,
to
we
Got
it.
gave it to Connor.
the street sign in
So,
the background.
What we can do
Nice new script.
here
I
is
like it.
Nice,
yeah,
man.
and this is brand new.
That looks real
Can we
nice.
get one
Mark,
of
you
those?
really
Mark,
held that
over here?
Give it out
together.
to the people?
You really
Yeah,
held
yeah.
that together,
Give the
Mark.
kids a
Some of
couple.
them.
Give the kids a couple beers.
So look, it's like, here's the generational shift. You
They
know,
can
if you
have
look
mine.
right at
The
it.
kids can have mine.
Boom.
Got the gold tops, just like the trophy, man. Got the gold tops.
It is a tasty beer.
This is monumental. Like when Pepsi used to change their cans, and
That's right.
you-
This is bigger than that, bro.
Right,
What are you
remember when they
talking
would
about?
introduce clear Pepsi?
Right.
And here we go.
this is
Now,
just as big.
I think this is really clean.
Maybe bigger.
I like the gold. There's a lot more gold in here. But that's our theme.
Yeah.
Classy.
That's our theme. Going
Golden
for the
era,
gold.
golden hour, golden
So
trophies,
hey,
golden
we thank
Kennys.
Kenwood for always hooking us up with beers for the podcast and for giving us a sneak peek of these. You can get these next week, and guess what's interesting? They're making them available in 6-packs for the first time.
I know,
Did
it's
you know
awesome.
that?
Yeah, I
So
did
you
know
can get
that.
6-packs, you can get 15 packs. That's next week. New can, new branding, the whole thing. Meech, you fired up about this or what?
Jesus Christ, you know I'm fired up about it. I think I single-handedly sell out all the Kenwoods at Beer Baron in Northeast Philly.
I agree.
It's like
you should have a sales
I
job.
feel like this
Kenwood.
tastes better coming out of this golden
it?
can. I don't
Does
know.
it?
It's something.
See, I need to
It's down-
do
it's a
Like
short
creamy.
beer
Give me,
too,
give me
right?
a cold
It's a
one
short,
out of
you
the,
know.
out of the cooler.
It might be,
Let's get
but
him
it's
a cold
delicious.
one.
Everything tastes better down here.
Let's get him.
Kenwood.
There he comes. Goodheart from the Goodheart Bar. We love
Wait to
him.
hear the.
All right. So while we're on the subject of supporters of the program, wanted to shout out
That's just
our
too damn
people.
fresh.
Gentlemen, I want to shout out to people at A-Best Swag, makers of this fine hat that I've been rocking. I rocked this beautiful underdog Philly. It's the whole team hat at the Make the World Better Pickleball Tournament, which is a huge success over the weekend. Connor was there. The Barwins beat the Kelseys. It's a huge headline in pickleball. Everyone's talking about it. But
Oh,
A-Best
oh.
Swag,
Hold on. Do you know who beat the Barwins?
who beat the Barwins?
Oh, the Goodhearts.
Wonderful hat, A-Best Swag, have hooked us up and are supporting the program. We were with those guys today. There was a huge underdog sales.
Yeah, my boy Alex runs A-Best Swag. I didn't even know that was him who ran it. He's the goddamn man. I
Yeah,
love
shout
that
out A-Best. I didn't even know they realized they made our old school, old head basketball league jerseys.
Yeah.
There was a little mistake on the jerseys. These dudes
Yeah,
took all the jerseys back, corrected them,
Fixed it.
got them right back out to us.
So it just goes
Yo,
to show, right? They're making the
Customer
underdog
service.
stuff for the Eagles fans. They're making the jerseys for the basketball team.
old heads.
A-Best representing all over the community.
Shout
We
out
thank you
A-Best.
guys so much. So much.
Yeah, let's take
I
these
might,
shots
I might
real
have
quick.
to bring
What
back
shots?
the
You don't have
merchant.
one? Bartender, can we get another shot
Yo,
over
there
here,
are
please, sir?
bugs
Yes.
circling your shots right now, buddy. Ha.
Can we get a shot of water for Tom too, please?
So, for anybody who's watching on YouTube, I just wanted to point out we're here in Ocean City. You can see in the back this wonderful marshland here. It's fantastic. A lot of people just think of,
It's
either
full of
you got-
mosquitoes.
You got the ocean, it is full of mosquitoes, especially if there's no wind, which luckily the wind calmed down. We're going to have to talk to Goodheart about how he manages the cooler because I just feel like the noise level is incredibly loud.
Very loud. With
Is that a
the
sippy
He's-
cup?
he's-
And he's brought the sippy cups up
He's poured me
from,
a shot of orange vanilla
the kitchen.
seltzer in a sippy cup.
Unbelievable.
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
What a bartender.
You got to make do with what you have, bro.
Let me make sure you didn't
Gentlemen,
roofie.
craftsman never blames his tools.
Gentlemen,
exactly,
real quick.
Exactly.
Still- I get the
to
sippy
the
cup.
new Kenwood can.
To the new Kenwood
Kenwood
can.
can
And sippy cups.
A-Best
Another
swag.
An
podcast
A-Best.
location and reason to
Shout
hang
out,
out in the
everybody.
middle of the week.
Yeah,
Thank
this is
you.
a great
Thank you.
location.
Salute.
All right, here we go. Oh boy, good times. What a long day it's been, guys. Holy
What else we
moly.
talking about tonight?
Daryl Morey, the
Yeah.
Sixers GM,
Uh-oh.
right?
Yeah.
He's so online. Like he's so into Twitter.
I love this. I already love where this is going.
And he's into NFTs and he's so online and but he's never won anything, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So he's there's a a reporter for the Sixers named Keith Pompey, who's not the best reporter, but whatever. He's a reporter for the Inquirer.
Solid.
And he's
Taking
one of those
strays.
I
guys.
disagree. He's had a long career, whether you agree that he's great or not. The guy's reputable. He's not a hack. I mean, he's been around a long time.
He's reputable,
So I'm
but
with you on your point overall.
but
because I
he's
know
he's
gonna
reported a few trades this offseason that are easily debunked. Like they couldn't even happen. I mean, once if you think about them, like the either the salaries don't match up or a guy under that contract can't get traded so soon. Well, Daryl Morey, instead of saying something to Keith like, "Hey, dude, you messed up," he responds to Shams, who's a NBA reporter, his burner account, which is
Hoop Central.
Hoop Central, and he responds to it with the GIF of Charlie Brown or Lucy taking
Pulling
a
the
football
ball.
from Charlie Brown, meaning like Keith Pompey falls for everything. But dude, you're an NBA GM, and this is how you resort to talking to a reporter for your team. You've never won anything. You're being corny about it. If you proved anything as a GM, if you made it far, that you have the right to talk shit. But if you haven't, you lost that
To
right.
Meech's point a little bit, you can't be like a general manager to
You're
a
just
successful
too
basketball
online,
team.
man.
You can't be responding to a reporter about another reporter falling for some fake report, right? You can't be doing it with gifts, right? You got to be a little. I mean, in my opinion, you got to be a little bit classier than that. You got to be like
You can't be that in the
email
trenches.
Keith
Professional.
Pompey
You know what I'm saying?
directly.
You gotta say,
and
hey,
say,
Let me
listen,
say this.
man.
I think this is a hard, like, you guys are touching on something I think is probably really difficult, and I think to Connor's point, you know, obviously as a GM, you want to make all the right decisions from a strategic standpoint in terms of, you know, what players you're bringing in and what you're doing to make the team win. But then you have to also consider, you know, how does the fan base, to what extent does the fan base and your interaction with them matter at all?
Yeah, you don't
And
have to
but hold on.
cater to
Let
the
me just
fan.
say this. Historically, we go back, we look at like the Joe Banners of the world. They don't give a crap at all. They're not dealing with us now. That was pre-social media, okay? You look at Howie Roseman.
He also picked L.J. Smith over Dallas, Jason Witten. So
Exactly.
Can't really.
But my point is this. You look at like Howie Roseman. I think that's a pretty good example of somebody who kind of straddled both eras. And now you see him, Howie Roseman's on Chris Long's podcast doing an interview inside the RV. And it's like, how do you appear to be somebody that can...
Like you want to engage with
You
the
want to be
people.
you want to be relatable,
Right, you
But
wanna-
like Daryl Morey, for example, Daryl Morey's gone on the Rights of Ricky Sanchez podcast multiple times, and he's been like on Twitter, and he almost like feels like he wants to be like, you know, cool with people on Twitter, and it's just a question of when do you go too far? And at the end of the day, all that really matters is that you do your job and that the team wins, you know? Right. So like I think honestly, when you look at, there's probably a lot of GMs who are just like, I'm not going to do any of that, but Daryl Morey may, you know, feel like he wants to be a part. I don't know. It's a good question. But let me say this. I think we used to live in an era because of the lack of social media where like the front office was a bit more detached from, you know, the fans. And I think that's changed a lot to the point where the
access,
the
right.
public perception of the general manager and the ownership can actually impact what's going on. And so I think that's why you're seeing people like, whether it's Howie or whether it's Daryl Morey, you know, kind of leaning into it. And Daryl probably, you know, there's a human element to this. You kind of want to be a part of it. Like the Philly, like Sixers Twitter conversation and how everyone loves it. Like I couldn't help if I were him watching that and looking at that and wanting to kind of somehow be a part of it. But, you know, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, there's a way to do it, and that's just corny to me. I mean, to Meech's point, you can't, I don't know, throw out a gif of Charlie Brown pulling the ball away, whatever.
But
that's just,
contact him directly and be
Yeah.
like, yo, dude, that's a false report, and here's why you messed up. Instead, it's like, and he tries to dunk on a reporter
Right.
like he's a
That's
Twitter
the
dude.
corniness
Like,
of it.
I'm
Right,
a Twitter
right.
dude. You're not, dude. You're the NBA GM.
Right.
Like, act like it.
Yeah,
Act accordingly.
exactly.
And if you want to be like that, you have to have won something at a certain point. You know, if you want to be the NBA president of a team, he's a literal president of the Sixers, and he's posting peanuts gifts
Yeah.
to a random account.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie.
Like, you're making
like
like a-
remember
yeah.
when Mike Malone won that championship this past couple weeks ago?
Look,
That-
I'm not
like,
saying
I was-
Keith Pompey didn't
so you
deserve
guys-
it. You want to switch gears and have some fun shore stories because I got a pretty cool.
Hold on, I have another thing to get to before we get to that because this is Philly
It's getting
sports.
heated
no,
here.
No, I'm serious.
City Pigeons Podcast.
So-
there's bugs all over the place.
Yeah, I'm just trying to lighten the mood
Oh.
here.
Oh,
Why'd you leave?
You
Did
put
you go to get a napkin?
Rock had to go to
I thought
jail.
you went to pee.
I did pee too.
Yeah, listen. It's a shore episode. I got a quick story.
Tell it, please.
go with it.
Meech,
Here,
let
give me
let
the
Meech,
napkin.
let
All
Meech
I
and
finish.
then I
wanna-
have a question about the shore. But
All
go
I
ahead.
want to do is tell this one
it.
story. My senior year
Oh, the
of
Wawa.
high school was 1997. All we did was listen to the Wyclef solo album, and all my buddies had a house on 34th Street, like right around the corner from the Wawa on 34th Street. They'd have jobs at I think it was an Exxon right there, or the Acme. Sunoco. We would all work around here. They worked in construction at one point, and actually the guy who hired them to work in construction tried to pay them in like Ritz crackers. He didn't have any money to pay them, so he brought them like
What?
breakfast cereal and Ritz crackers. Anyway, that's besides the point. Early in that summer, we were at Wawa, right, and my buddies went to buy a couple hoagies. And back in the day, in 1997, there was a stamp. It was a paid stamp, and they used to hit your receipt after you paid, and it said paid
You
on
had
it.
to show that.
So the Memorial Day weekend, we were down the shore, and one of the workers at Wawa was fucking sleeping and hit the paid stamp, and then turned around, and my friend took the paid stamp. So then, for the rest of the summer, we would go into Wawa, go up to the shore, and listen. This is in 1997, and I'm pretty sure Wawa's done pretty well since this. So it's not like we bankrupted a company or something. So all my buddies would go up to the hoagie counter, order a hoagie. They give you the slip. They'd go up and buy like a bag of chips or something that's 50 cents and act like they're paying for something, and then they'd walk into an aisle, we'd have the paid stamp still on us, and we hit the fucking paid stamp. So the whole summer, we're getting free hoagies, just hitting the fucking paid stamp all summer.
Yeah, the hustle never stops down here for you.
Hustle never fucking stops.
Man, that's only
Between
the
me and this house of friends, we probably got approximately 7,000 free hoagies over the
Were
course
you
of a
eating there
summer.
every day? You must have been.
It was around the corner. There was no easier place to go than Wawa for a hoagie, and it was free. So, I mean, there's no better
Well, it
place
wasn't
to
free.
do
I mean,
it.
you were stealing
You
it.
made-
Yeah, wait,
free.
It wasn't stealing.
It was
The-
free.
the-
It wasn't stealing.
The initial paid stamp was stealing.
Because
but
you
after
had
that,
the
it was a
paid
free for
stamp,
all.
it wasn't
It was a free
I
for all.
gotta say, I kind of like that legal argument right there.
yeah, it's that paid.
So,
What is our council?
you know,
yeah, what
you
is-
know, it was. I think it was Labor Day weekend at the end of the summer. One of my buddies got caught hitting
With it?
with
In
the
the aisle?
paid stamp in the aisle. Do you remember Clover?
I remember Clover.
Clover?
We had a Clover in
There was a
Andorra.
retail store called Clover
It's like-
in
like
Philadelphia.
Kohl's.
I
It's like
don't know
Kohl's.
Clover.
It was-
It was like the
a-
old school Kohl's.
It was
or
like
Strawberry Clover.
Target before Target,
Yeah. Right.
right?
Okay.
It's 1990. I'm 11 years old. Me and my buddy go into Clover, and they had hoops basketball cards, right?
Yeah.
And me and my buddy stole a case of basketball cards. We took them into the bathroom, and me and him are in stalls next to each other. And I passed some packs over to him. We're ripping packs. I'm like, "Yo, bro, I just got a Tim Hardaway card, Tim Hardaway rookie." And meanwhile, the security guy from Clover saw us on camera, and he's in the urinal right there, and he's listening to us like,
Oh my-
like, "Yo, I just got Mookie Blaylock, you know, like, I just got David Robinson."
Bud Webb.
Yeah, and we're flushing the packs down the toilet and everything. So we walk out. You can't get arrested when you steal from retail in the store because you're still in the store.
Yeah.
So they waited until we walked out, and this guy grabbed both of us by the fucking neck. I was 11 years old, pulled us back in, pulled us into the security thing, showed us the footage of us stealing cars. I was like, I got a Tim Hardaway and a Mookie Blaylock, bro.
Hey, he should have hit you like a security guard when you run on the field, just like bam, just take you down.
They called our parents. I probably cried like a bitch, I think. Like, don't tell Dad. Don't tell. I didn't want to get my ass beat.
What happened with the folks when you got home?
It was cool. My mom never told my dad. It was
the cover
lips
up.
are sealed. Me and my mom were. Love you, Mom.
Did you learn your lesson?
She's going watch.
Yeah,
Don't get caught.
did I learn my lesson?
Start him young.
No.
You clearly did not learn your lesson.
No,
because
then he
this
was
is at
hustling
11.
the hoagies.
Then you were down there hustling
Didn't learn a
hoagies.
damn thing.
Were you working at a zoo or something
never-
down here?
11
I never
It's
sold a pack of
aquarium.
basketball cards before. How's that?
I was about to tell a damn story, but you guys
We were
just wouldn't let
terrorizing
me do it.
Boscovs. That was
I
the
was
story that we were
scared
terrorizing.
because we had and Meech, we were talking about things down here that don't exist anymore that we miss. We used to have these corner stores. There was one on 52nd Street in
Like
Central.
Chinese stores?
No.
my bad.
You got the
No, you
bodega.
couldn't get a
Not in
Lucy.
Ocean City, Rock.
Bulletproof-
No.
They got the
City.
bulletproof
We need to
glass.
bring them down here,
Listen,
bro.
stop. It was like you could get Big League Chew and you could get sodas and you could get
You can get them at the
sandwiches.
Chinese store
like
too, bro.
Squirrel's brother used to get a bacon sandwich. It just had bacon on it. It was very weird. A long roll with just bacon. So weird.
Nothing
Anyway.
weird about
There's
that.
nothing. What are you talking? You're weird.
No.
Yeah.
Now, so my buddy, who will remain nameless, used to steal all the time in there, and he got caught like all the time, and I was like scared of that. So I don't have a good story about stealing stuff because I think scared straight with watching him get caught. That's my story. And it kind of reminds me of when you like talk shit on somebody and then like they find out that you talk shit on. There's nothing worse than that feeling. It's the same thing when you're caught and you're just like, oh man, I feel terrible.
I don't talk shit about people.
So I tried,
like that,
yeah,
man. That's
shut up,
fucked
come on, dude. You're in line. You're good.
Yeah, I was a product of my environment.
Exactly. It's like Mike Vick when he was fighting dogs. He was
Right.
just a product of his environment, right?
Absolutely.
Wait, what about I touch
Like you
something
had.
here?
I agree.
Meanwhile,
You had-
I agree.
did you
I
You know what I'm
see?
saying? Like
agree.
he's a product of his environment. He realized his wrongdoings.
Absolutely.
Got himself corrected.
Second chances are real chances.
Exactly. Like if you're growing up your entire life stealing,
Probably
fighting
not
dogs.
the best thing to bring up tonight.
All right, let's move on to the boombox.
A lot of exciting things happened tonight. We had the brand new Kenwood packaging, which is amazing. We also have this wonderful bump box that's a custom-made
Jamaican air horn.
Look at this. City Pigeons Podcast bump box.
That's that radio Raheem
provided
right there,
by
bro.
Jeff Tubbs, who somehow is not here when I'm trying to praise him for making this amazing thing
jumped
for us.
off the roof
Although it
deck.
looks like a bird pooped on it. Do you see a stain here? There's already. Did we spill liquor on the bump box?
Looks like
Mark?
somebody.
I'm a little
Looks like somebody.
concerned.
Somebody been smoking up
I'm
here.
a little bit concerned.
Smoking cigarette ash
I'm a
on there or
little bit
something?
concerned, but it's a nice item. And guys, listen. Here's the deal. Bump box. It's amazing. Oh boy, here we go.
He just bumped a few things.
It's
No, it
heavy.
ain't that
It's
heavy,
heavy.
bro.
Mark, can you get? What are you doing? Oh jeez. Well, it
Mark's
is.
playing some music.
It is a nice item. And Bump Box, we thank you for customizing this for us. It's a Bluetooth speaker that looks like a boombox, and we are so happy to have it. Okay, one last thing I want to do before we go, because Mark, glad that we have you here, and I thought about this. Let's go.
Oh.
Listen, we're gonna crank it up here
Crank it up.
momentarily. I feel like this.
We are down the
This
shore.
podcast is complete.
Yeah, they might call the cops
that
on us down here. for
Ocean
having that
City
music
cops
up
will
too
be here
loud.
within 10 minutes giving him the citation.
Connor, and then he left.
Okay.
You gotta take a piss.
Hold on, Jesse, we're talking about iconic shore items, right?
No, well,
I have another one.
Who was
I have
talking
another
about
one. Sure, go
iconic
ahead.
shore items? You just said we're talking about.
This whole thing's
Nobody
been
was
off the
talking
rails.
about that.
one. Said things you love about the shore. Atlantic City
Oh,
bread.
look, he's got the rolls.
I mean, who doesn't like Atlantic City bread?
That's beautiful, man.
making cheese
Can I get your attention?
Hold on, I want to ask you one thing, Jesse. Jesse, come on. Jesse, first off, do you fashion yourself as like knowledgeable about Ocean City and the Jersey Shore?
I mean, generally speaking, sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Do you fashion yourself as like an old school? I've been around here a bunch, Jersey Shore guy.
Yes.
Yeah,
So somebody say
around
yes.
here. He's been around here for
Okay.
40 years.
Do you feel like you're pretty
This
well?
feels like a setup.
Setting you up.
Yeah, it feels like a setup.
Do
to
you
me.
feel like you're pretty well aware of like Jersey Shore
Did I already screw
customs
something up?
and nicknames and like things that happen to the shore?
What did I do wrong that you're calling
Nothing.
me
I'm
out
just
on?
asking.
Generally, yes.
Okay. Have you ever heard
A sub?
this referred to as stick bread?
No.
Okay. So I walk
Stick
into
bread.
Boyer's down the street today, and I see a guy walking out with this, and I'm like, oh, Atlantic City bread. This would be great on the podcast. This is great. Everybody loves Atlantic City bread. So I walk in the back, there's no bread. And I say to the lady, I go, oh, you're out of bread.
Can't be out.
Oh! Anyway. She goes, oh!
She pulled it out her ass?
She's like the owner. She's like, oh. Are you looking for stick bread? I'm like, stick bread? Stick bread.
Not a better name than
I go, I'm looking for Atlantic City bread. She goes, oh, yeah, stick bread. She goes in the back and gets this. Stick
Oh my
bread.
God, it's
There you go.
amazing.
Who knew? Sorry.
I wonder where that.
No,
I wonder where
I
that.
never heard of that before.
I wonder where that stick bread came from.
I've never heard of that before. Okay, well, the only thing I was thinking is, given that the Goodheart firm is a proud sponsor of the City Pigeons podcast for eons at this point, and we're not sure how long it's going to go, but, considering we're having a podcast on his deck, it feels like we're locked at the hip for life.
Right.
You got a boombox.
My
You got it all, man.
question, my question to you is, Mark,
I feel you.
can you advise the good people on how to avoid some precarious legal scenarios during the summer? And I'll give you one example.
I love Goodheart.
Okay.
Law firm. Give
All
him
right.
some tips.
Yeah,
Give him
Connor loves this, but guys, listen, all of you
I wanna
little
be a
guys, wait,
law
hold
firm
on.
that
Connor, hold on one
supports
second.
people.
Ella
advice.
and Logan and Ben, I want you all to listen. We've all been down at the beach on a windy day, okay? Now, I want you to know, and I don't know the stats on this, but a certain number of people are killed every year by runaway umbrellas, okay? So I want to start right there. And it doesn't have a way, if you just jam that thing into the sand and it doesn't dig in horizontally, then you are in jeopardy of your umbrella getting pulled out by the wind and spearing someone like a damn Dracula and through the heart, and you could be liable for wrongful injury. Mark,
I agree.
Your thoughts?
You could be negligent. At this point in the world, there are many common devices to secure the umbrella properly.
The screw.
You've got the screw.
Facts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've got the metal screw.
Yeah.
You got the plastic screw.
If you just have the spear,
Exactly. You've got other devices that don't catch the wind as much. That blowing thing in the air, I'm not a big fan.
the tents that have
It's
like the
like-
sandbags and stuff.
Sort of weird.
Yeah.
But I understand the point. Yeah, exactly. The thing where you fill it with sand.
Yeah. It's a
But
lot
at
of
this
work.
point, if you just like
That one's not terrible.
stick your umbrella 3 inches in the sand and it blows down and maims someone,
That's on you.
it's on you.
That's negligence, baby.
It's on
That
you.
is
Talking about
negligence.
murder up here, Meech.
So, we're going to zero in. Okay, here's my question to you, Mark. Okay, because down here, one of the biggest issues we face as I hold my championship trophy is
Trophies flying to your car?
The whole
Nowhere?
yield to pedestrians and bikers thing.
Yes.
Everybody's familiar with
Indeed.
it. You got the person who's like sticking their foot out and you can't even see them, yet they expect.
And
I'm
on the
just-
side of stopping in crosswalks.
if
Because
you're
at the
driving.
end of the day,
you're
day,
driving.
drivers, if you're a car and you hit a person, they're like, who's at fault?
Car.
Exactly. There you go.
So that's my question, though.
So-
Would it behoove you, though, to kind of slow roll it, jut out at the
Take
last
that
minute,
L.
get hit
Yes,
by said
take
car?
that-
I know you can't really, like, you know.
I'll tell you this,
worry about-
Jesse.
Is this
I'll
really
tell you this.
a
Just like we had
conversation?
these stories of stealing tonight,
Mark, pass that. Pass
it's
that.
never
Alpha. Like,
worth it. No, I'll say it's never worth it.
right.
I've represented people that have recovered 8 figures, and they'll never walk and talk again.
I'm sorry, did
it's
you
not
say-
worth it.
Oh.
I've represented people that have
Sorry, when you
recovered.
said 8, I was like, I'm in. Then you said, won't walk and talk in. I was like, maybe not. So I had a
I've
juxtaposition of
represented
emotions
people
there.
that
I'ma fill you
recovered
over that
25 grand.
deck, bro.
It's still not worth it.
What about for,
So
wait, what if
stop
I
at
get
crosswalks,
6 figures
cars
and
stop at
totally
crosswalks.
fine?
I will say here's the other thing, and this doesn't really necessarily have to do with law.
Thanks, DJ. Mark.
Respect the ocean. Respect the ocean.
Respect the
we
ocean.
were out on the beach
Yeah,
today.
we just saw the guy drown,
and
Ryan
we
Mallett,
saw
R.I.P.
someone
saw
get
somebody
pulled out of the
drown?
water today,
Yeah.
rescued
You saw somebody
right in front of
God.
51st Street today this morning. Tom was there. Respect the ocean.
And I would
Like-
say the Goodheart firm would tell you, if you can't swim, don't go in.
Wait, hold
It's
on,
that
hold on.
easy.
Did you see
that
somebody
easy.
drown today?
Exactly.
No,
No.
Ryan Mallett. You were on the text chain.
I
So
thought you-
NFL player that
I got
drowned.
you. I thought you said somebody drowned
Listen,
today.
I think we can only do one thing right now. We can only do one thing because PJ is sitting there
One
behind
more
the camera
safety thing.
and he's
One more-
looking very
hold on.
perplexed.
One more safety thing. Sorry. Roller coasters, not safe. Amusement parks with 12-year-olds manning the
already
safety
did that.
mechanisms, not
Not
safe.
safe.
Boom.
Wait, I went on the
A
claw.
Goodheart
I
firm
love
has
amusement parks and
represented
roller
people in
coasters.
Amusement park accidents. 215-710-0909. TheGoodheartFirm.com.
I might holler at you at the end of
What if
summer.
you get
'cause I'm gonna
thrown
go
out
to
of a
Hershey Park in like a
tilt-a-whirl?
couple weeks.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Call him. By the way, I just
listen,
My neck already hurts.
We're in Ocean City, New Jersey. I grew up here. I mean, every summer I spent the entire summer down here. I loved it. And there's so many spots down here that I that are gone, and I miss them, and nobody cares about them anymore because whatever. Everybody,
Like that little
you know,
box back in the marsh we used to smoke cigarettes on. What the hell happened to that?
That's one
Whoa,
of them,
Logan!
but that's that's not an actual spot. So I figured real quick, before we finish here, I give my top 5 spots
Please.
in the shore that I missed.
Let's do that.
Please. Thank you.
All right, number
These places
5
are no longer around, right?
no longer around.
All right.
Number 5 isn't in Ocean City. It's you guys ever go to Wildwood when you were a kid and you had the Dracula Castle?
Yeah.
With the Dracula boat ride?
The one
that
that's
was like my first intro into
the
being
Big
scared.
John, right? The Big John,
Yeah.
right? It was like you go in here, you're a man.
Well, I
you go
used
in
to
here,
be
you're a
scared of
man.
the
Yeah.
Dracula Castle, so I'd go to the boat ride. And little did I know the boat ride was scarier than the fucking castle.
Wait. Can I be honest with you? I went to Wildwood one time when I was little, and I went to Raging Waters, and I was behind this chick, and she had a hairy back, and that I just never
Was she a
ever
buffalo?
I never recovered from it. So that's
Listen.
happened to me.
You only went to Wildwood once when you were a kid?
Pretty much, man.
I mean,
pretty
I was
much.
I was an Ocean City guy, but my parents like 3 or 4 times maybe would take me to Wildwood.
That's
Anyway,
scarred me.
Dracula's Castle was cool as shit. That was like
That was my one thing that. I'm sorry, but when we were talking about like things to bring
And-
up from like when you were young,
and when
came
you
down the shore,
walk
that was my one
towards
thing
it,
was that
you
big
hear
ass
like the
fucking-
Dracula.
Yeah,
like,
that was that. It was like it like took up a big place on the
huge,
boardwalk. It was like, yo, if you go in
Number
here, you a
4.
man. Yeah.
Number 4, the 52nd Street Market.
That's what I was talking about.
Very personal to me.
Yo.
But every morning, you'd walk into the 52nd Street Market at 9 a.m. and it they had bacon cooking for the entire
Trevor's
day.
bacon
The
sandwich.
whole entire place would smell like bacon. It was. Besides that, it was the greatest store ever. They
was.
sold baseball cards. They
I mean,
sold
it was
sandwiches.
like the basement. You know what I mean? It was like so small.
And you'd be on the beach. You were hungry. You'd go to the 52nd Street Market and get something to eat. Greatest place ever. I loved it. I was so pissed.
Here.
Number 3, Aquaport. It was the fucking number
Yo, you're
one.
hitting me in my feels on all this.
It was the number 1 arcade
in the country.
in the country. I mean, hey, listen, you know why I loved going to Jilly's on 12th Street? Because they had that, you remember that hologram game and Mad Dog McCree? You remember Mad Dog McCree where you'd shoot the dude? Those were the fucking coolest
Nobody
shit.
remembers that shit.
And they
Come on now,
didn't have those at
digging deep.
Aquaport.
Aquaport
but
had all the
Aquaport
regular
had
shit.
Pool tables like WWF, WrestleFest, Bubble Bobble, Street Fighter.
And it was so proximate to all the hustles you had going on down
had the
there.
classics,
too,
It
you know
was
what I
in
mean?
proximity
Yeah.
to all my hustles.
Yeah.
Loved
That worked out well.
Aquaport. And plus, I had a pool table in my house when I was a kid.
You
and-
hustled.
You were hustling.
And I was hustle the pool guys.
But like to be
in
honest, Aquaport was like we used to call it the Aqua Dork actually, but it was the place that like you went to and like there was girls there and there was a lot of adolescent behavior going on.
Number
I back
2,
you on that.
Number 2, I know Jesse, you back me with this too. It's about 6 blocks down the road, Creamland. You remember Creamland?
Oh, you're taking it what by like Manja?
46th Street, right next
that
to
sounds sexual.
right next to
Creamland?
the right next to the fire department.
Or ice cream.
It was
Yo,
an
for real?
ice cream.
I don't remember it.
Oh man,
I don't remember.
It was the great. It had a 9-hole mini golf course, and they
Brad
sold.
remembers it.
Yo,
He's
Squirrel
younger than
remembers
me.
it.
And they sold the best milkshakes that you could buy as a human.
Damn it, Creamland.
So
Shout out
you'd-
to Creamland.
You'd
Everything
ride your
sucks
bike.
now.
You'd ride your bike 6 blocks down the road. You'd spend $5 for 9 holes of mini golf and a milkshake. It was the greatest thing ever.
What's
okay,
number
what's
one?
number one? I'm
Number
dying
one
here.
is the
I'm getting bit
Boardwalk
up by
movie
the
theaters,
theaters.
man.
Oh,
Like they got rid of the
they're
Boardwalk
gone.
movie theaters.
The Strand, the
every
Moreland.
summer blockbuster when I was
Right.
a kid, I would watch
Meech,
at the
keeping it real.
Boardwalk.
Strand, Moreland.
Terminator 2, Men in Black, Independence. No matter what the blockbuster summer movie was, you would watch it at either the Strand or the Moreland. And they just got rid of the goddamn movie theaters, like they were nothing.
You couldn't be more right. You couldn't be more right. And a fitting way to wrap up our Down the Shore podcast for the City Pigeons.
Can I add one thing that
can you
doesn't
think
exist?
of anything
I'm
else
sorry.
to add? I mean,
While we're at it,
55th Street Wawa was
the 55th Street
legendary.
Wawa.
I still remember the smell of that goddamn
we used
Wawa.
to go there at midnight.
Somebody got
and
killed
go-
It's
over
like
there.
Mad
Somebody got
Magazines
killed
at
at the
that
55th
Wawa.
Street Wawa.
so
But can you
I'm
think of
interested to see
anything
if
else
you guys remember
in this city or when you were a kid that you,
seafood, great fried chicken.
Not bad.
Campbell's Seafood.
Mark, what do you got?
So on 9th Street, we're on the boardwalk, right off the boardwalk, heading towards the Ocean Colony, which now is like a strip mall of all this shit and the go-karts and stuff. The penny candy spot.
Yeah.
Where you'd get candy for a penny. You remember that, Meech?
I remember it.
Yeah, that's one of the things. I'm just
And
saying.
and they had water ice and shit. They had bubble gum water ice at that place that was out of control. Like it was the first time I ever had
That sounds
bubble gum water
delicious.
ice. Yeah.
Yeah, but guys, think about it like this. Think about all the new things we have. Like gigantic houses that stretch so high into the air that you can barely see the sunshine. I mean, come on, man. You got to balance it, all right? It's all about the economy and capitalism at its best.
Can we take these shots?
All right, well, look, let's do that because we're going to call an end to this because PJ's looking at me like,
Yeah,
you
PJ's
told
like-
me I could go home.
PJ's
at a certain
enough.
point. So,
He's
let's just
only
take
going
these
to
shots.
Brigantine.
Hey, yo,
And
shout
guys-
out to the pigeon.
Good
Shout
night,
out to
gentlemen.
yeah. What
Hey.
we got? Shout them all out. Jeff.
Shout
I
out
just want to
PJ.
say, hey,
A-Best swag.
A-Best
Goodheart
swag.
Firm.
Baby.
Goodheart Firm.
Radio
Our boy, Connor
Kismet.
Barber. Connor, turn towards the camera.
Connor
Don't
Barber.
block it. Let's go.
A-Best
Jason
swag,
Kelsey,
Kenwood,
Eagles
Jason
Autism,
Kelsey,
the whole
Eagles,
thing.
Fans
Let's
of
go.
Philly. Shout out
We're
fans of
just here
Philly.
for
Yeah.
the, we're just here for the party.
I
Let's
love it.
go.
Let's go.
Creative outfit.